Joining us now is Bloomberg senior editor Mike Shepard. Mike, after this announcement, what kind of confusion was there among the biggest, specifically tech companies that require the H-1B visa program to really get their lion's share of workers?
Well, Danny, it was really a weekend of chaos. The announcement on Friday, not long after our scoop, that this new $100,000 fee on the H-1B visa would be coming really rattled them. And there were some reports that Microsoft had even told workers not to travel, to refrain from leaving the country if they had any plans to do so, out of fear that maybe this would complicate their ability to either renew or their permits to stay here and work here, or somehow complicate reapplication. The U.S. later followed up to say, no, this only applies to new visas, but it gives you an indication of what they're up against. And U.S. tech companies, including Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, and Apple, all lean heavily on the H-1B program to bring talent in from abroad. And a lot of it, of course, comes from India. And separately, we are having the U.S. with a very intense trade negotiation lately with India over not only its tariffs, but the heavy tariffs that the U.S. is imposing on products from India. And this is over India's purchases of Russian oil. So there's a lot wrapped up in it. And the tech companies are trying to digest how
Mike, look at this chart.
What is going to happen next. I
mean, I don't think many Americans knew that the vast majority of these visas were going to people out of India, right? 72%. And the other thing that we haven't really been talking about much is that a massive amount of these H-1B visas are gotten through what the federal government calls fraud. You could call it cheating. Bloomberg's Eric Fan and Zach Miter wrote a great story on it last summer. And that half of these visas are going to outsourcing firms. So, yeah, maybe they're getting to Amazon, maybe they're getting to Meta, but they're going through IT staffing firms or outsourcing firms. And presidents and the Congress have been trying to deal with this cheating issue and figure out how to deal with this visa issue since the 90s. Is this maybe President Trump's way of dealing with it?
Well, they are certainly casting abuse as part of the justification for making these changes. And we've reported on these abuses last year, or this year in March, 470,000 applications for 85,000 slots, and that's a lot. But a number of the applications were submitted multiple times, our reporting has found. You cited the great work by our colleagues, Eric and Zach, and it really does point to how this program has been really fraught with issues. And there is the question of, are they going to all the right people? Are they going to people who maybe can help in other sectors? There's a lot of demand for this. Are they getting the people that they need, for instance, for the next generation of investment in the U.S.? And one thing, and this is something that Kathy Wood just alluded to, the idea that maybe they need to bring in workers for different high-tech jobs. And that would include expanding in the semiconductor manufacturing sector, for instance. Where would they stand in line, Matt, when it comes to trying to get access to those visas? Is India the right source for that? Would they rather get more people and maybe a different distribution geographically, say more from Taiwan and other locations? So this is something that the administration is going to be looking at, and maybe be looking at other means outside the H-1B visa program to keep that talent pipeline full.